welcome to Audio Addiction. We have High Visions with us, and he can say his name and what he does in the band.
Hi, I'm Ziggy. I play bass, and I'm one of the two singers in High Visions.
Awesome. So my first question, Ziggy, I ask this every band that I have on. How did you start the band? How did you get your members?
It's quite a long, kind of funny story. So I met our drummer Alex at a nightclub in Leeds after a Narwhals show, and then we were kind of drunk. We got chatting, we got our details, and then about a month later, we went to a show with our guitarist Lewis, and we just kind of all like chatted, decided we should form a band sometime. A month later, we started jamming, and there you go.
Awesome. So my next question, since you're from the UK, what are some favorite venues you like to go catch a show at?
Ooh, I think by far my favorite one is the Key Club in Leeds. It's run by the same guys that founded Slam Dunk Festival all those years ago. Besides that, I'd say probably Santiago's, as it's like a really nice like DIY type venue. It's where we always play, and we've met loads of like local friends of ours from that venue. Outside of Leeds, I'd probably say in London, Scala, like around the King's Cross area, is beautiful, and the Mulberry Tavern in Sheffield as well. Like, those are probably my favourite venues in the UK.
Awesome. My next question, kind of the follow-up venues, what was the last show that you attended?
The last show that I attended?
Yes.
I guess not counting ones I've played?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so the last show that I played personally with High Visions was with a band called Tuan, who in Santiago. They came all the way over from Bangkok in Thailand. It was their first day of their UK tour, and I hope we gave them a good welcome, you know?
Awesome.
And yeah, the night before that, I attended a show of a band called Lightyear at the Key Club.
Okay, sick.
And supporting them were a band called Dead Extras, who are really good friends of ours locally. I'd love to work with them again sometime, you know.
Awesome. My next question, Ziggy, another important question. What are some musical influences? What are some of your musical influences?
As a band or personally, or both?
Why don't you speak for the band as well as personally? Okay,
so as a band, I think we're very much influenced by kind of like early noughties, late 90s, like pop punk, skate punk sort of stuff.
Okay.
I know that one of all of our favorite bands is Alkaline Trio. Like, we absolutely love the kind of like rougher, darker take on like the pop punk genre that they do. In addition, we're all kind of into like a lot of different stuff. Like, personally, I've been into a lot of kind of like the modern pop punk that's coming out of the UK, like Trash Boat, Boston Manor. Really like Creeper as well. They're amazing. Whilst our guitarist Lewis is into a lot of really heavy music. Like, if you listen to his guitar work, he's very influenced by bands such like Parkway Drive, A Day to Remember, Mice and Men. And then Alex, our drummer, is really into kind of a lot of 90s stuff like Jawbreaker, Fugazi, that sort of thing. So it's like a very eclectic mix of influences, but I think that kind of contributes to the uniqueness of our sound, you know?
No, absolutely, and I also like that you guys listen to different stuff too, because, you know, like you were mentioning, Parkway Drive, like those sorts of bands that that's sort of the bands that I grew up with, but as well as,
yeah,
you know, I love like the new pop punk stuff, like Trash Boat. I love like Pacific. Boston Manor is gonna be awesome. I'm seeing them a couple months from now with Real Friends, so. Really
that would be so good, yeah.
So I'm really stoked on that, but I like that you guys have kind of a diverse sound, and I was able to listen to a few tracks that Megan had sent over, and I think it's so like kind of different, but still has that like sort of pop punk essence to it. So I definitely like the direction you guys are going in, and I think it definitely has a uniqueness to it for sure.
Oh, thank you very much. Like, really appreciate hearing that.
Awesome,
so cool.
Awesome. My next question, kind of the follow-up influences, who have you been jamming recently?
Who have I been jamming recently? Good question. I'm going to go really left field with this. So I'm going to say probably what I've been jamming that's similar to us, and then something completely off kilter, you know. So recently I've been listening to a lot of Trash Boat's new album, Crown Shyness, which is amazing. It's genuinely they're one of my biggest influences lyrically, I think, because of like what they write about is so not just relatable, but the stories they tell. It's very much, you can definitely tell like the what kind of Wonder Years, like almost kind of Americana style influence on that record, and I absolutely love that. I've also been jamming Benjamin Clementine's new album. I don't know if you know Benjamin Clementine, but I absolutely love him. Like his style is like so different. It reminds me of like Nina Simone mixed with Ludovico Einaudi, which are both artists that I really admire, but I don't really know how to incorporate them into our sound, but if there was a way, I guess. I don't know, I'm very experimental, so.
That's really cool. I like how you have kind of like different ends of the spectrum. Like I can't put down the new Trash Bro record. I think is so great. Like they just have that like they have that edge to them that I've always like appreciated, but I never really like delved into, and this newest record is just phenomenal. So please go check that out if you get the chance. And then, you know, just on the opposite end of the spectrum, I just like how, you know, you have two different things going on, so it's totally cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've always been that kind of person that's been into a lot of different styles of music. I like to keep an open mind. Like there isn't a genre that I actively dislike. I try and listen to kind of everything I can, you know, like every genre's got their good and bad bits, but I'd never like judge a genre based off like one or two bands or whatever, you know.
Awesome. Well, my next question is a fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Oh, that is a good question. Well, we've actually written and recorded like our own take on a classic song from the past, but I don't think I should let people know what that is just yet. I might make that a surprise. I think a song that I'd really like to cover is probably Dancing in the Moonlight, which was recently recorded by Top Loader, I think 20 years ago, but was originally written sometime in the 70s. But it's a song that I grew up with. It was one of those songs that, like at all like the house parties I went to growing up, that song would always come on and everyone would be like jamming along and dancing to it and stuff. And I'd love to like channel that energy somehow into our music, you know.
That's cool. I am definitely about like oldie stuff too, because that as well, we're probably similar in age, so it's like I definitely appreciate all of that, like, you know, oldies music for sure. So that would be cool. I'd love to hear that. So if you guys inevitably get on that would be awesome. But my next question is, since you're from the UK, what are some favorite foods you like to eat?
Good question. That was quite left field, wasn't it? I might have to give that a cheeky think, you know. I mean, I've got family in the Philippines and I grew up around a lot of like Filipino food and stuff, so I think that would probably be my like go-to. I've always kind of been a fan of like the flavors of like Asian cuisine and stuff. Outside of that, I've been really into like Japanese food as well. Like sushi is an absolute jam, you know. I don't know how I could speak for like the other guys, but that's just kind of my personal preference, you know.
Awesome. That's really cool. Totally about it. I thought you were gonna say something like typical, like, you know, like UK food, but definitely
I mean,
like this.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to it, like, I think most people that I know in the UK, we just kind of like a whole bunch of different foods, mainly because the less you talk about British food, the better half the time. I don't know.
All right, next question, Ziggy. If there was one person you could pick to be a guest vocalist on your next record or producer, who would you want to work with?
As far as producers go, I think I'd go with John Feldman personally. Like, I know a lot of people give him a lot of flack because of like the way he produces. There's like lots of like random kind of vocalizations going on in the background, but I think that our style like might suit his production. I mean, I'm not sure how exactly we go about doing it yet, but I think that it would be a really fun experiment, and especially considering that both me and Alex have been massive Goldfinger fans for a while already. So awesome. Like, yeah, and plus like he's a lot more experienced in kind of production as well as kind of like being a front man. We've seen Goldfinger before at Slam Dunk and they blew me away basically. So
that's cool. I think he's probably I feel like he just you know, obviously is just synonymous with like pop punk and stuff like that. But I think that not enough people give him credit for like being in a band and doing that sort of stuff, but also doing like two roles of being a producer, but also like a person in a band. So I've always appreciated him as both those things. But
Exactly.
I feel like that would work with your sound for sure, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like a lot of people do criticize him or stereotype his production, but I don't think a lot of people kind of give him enough credit, like where credit's due, you know?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, my next question, Ziggy, if there is one instrument that you wish you could play, what would it be?
Ooh, that's also a hard one. I would say guitar. Like, I did learn it, but I'm nowhere near as good as I'd like to be because it's such a versatile instrument. Like, I mean, I can play like chords and stuff, but I grew up with the piano, and guitar is a completely different instrument. Like, the way you have to think about harmony, like, and just you have to turn basically the entire world of music theory that you've grown up with kind of on its head, which is always like really hard to do, you know. And like bass was a lot easier for me to learn and pick up because like I could still apply that foundation of harmony that I learned through the piano with the bass guitar, whereas with guitar itself, like it's kind of like you kind of have to rethink everything, if you know what I mean. Outside of that, I also say something like violin would be just fun to learn, like just because it's completely left field. I mean, like you don't really see the violin in pop punk besides in Yellow Card, R.I.P. But yeah, I just think it would be really fun to do that as well. And there's also a whole slew of other instruments that at some point I'd like to just pick up, maybe just like a few months, see how it goes, you know. But
it might be on the next High Visions record, you know, you never know.
you never know. You know, I might just pick up the didgeridoo, you know, just have a little cheeky bridge there, a little eight.
That'd be great. I feel like you'd be the first pop punk band to ever do that. I don't know. I could be speaking out of turn, but I feel like a pop punk band has not tried that yet. So we'll see.
I mean, you never know. But
Never know.
maybe someone listens to this interview and gets an idea. Nice.
Well, that would be very interesting, and that would be an interesting story, nonetheless. But I do like that you picked out violin and also Yellow Card because I feel like they just have this synonymous like thing with violin and just like pop punk, pop rock sort of stuff. So
exactly. They're so unique, you know, or they were so unique.
Oh, so. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope some band takes up that mantle because I feel like they are definitely missing for sure. But my next question is, it's my personal favorite one because I'm a huge nerd, but if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Good question. I'll have to think about this one, actually. I'm going to say Lance from Pokemon because I've been playing a lot of Heart Gold lately, and he is just so cool. Everything about him is really cool, and plus, like, I'd love to train dragons, you know.
Why not? I'm about that. I'm like a massive Pokemon fan, so like I'm all about Gold and Silver. So definitely struck a chord with me, so I like that. But my next question is, in your opinion, who puts on a great live show in terms of bands that you've seen?
I'm gonna go with the Wonder Years on that. Like, just the absolute, like, they might not be kind of like the tightest I've seen on stage, but there's the passion that goes into every single song they do, especially Soupy stage presence. Like, you cannot beat that. Like, I've seen them about 6 times already, and I think 3 of them have been 3 of the best shows I've ever gone to, you know. So just like the energy that they kind of put forth and the just kind of everything that they do on stage is just, it's encapsulating in a way, you know.
Yeah, I think I feel really fortunate because they they're from Philadelphia, and I live about like
Yeah.
40 minutes away from Philly. So, like, I always
So
feel fortunate whenever I get to see them because they usually close out their tours in Philadelphia. So it's always
cool.
really nice to just like see them play. And I never really got that vision of like, because obviously, you know, they live and play so close to where I live. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, when you're saying like, oh yeah, he has such like great passion live and all that stuff, I didn't really kind of like, it was just like an overthought. But now that I think about it and seeing them, I'm like, man, every time that I've seen them, they've just been like super awesome, and it's just like really an awesome vibe. So
Yeah, exactly.
I would totally agree with you on the Wonder Years. That is a great choice. But my next question, kind of to follow up great bands that you've seen live, if you could compile a dream tour, who would be on it?
Ooh, that is a very good question because I've kind of got two ideas for that.
Okay.
Considering that most of like the pop punk I like, a lot of it is local, a lot of it is really small and underground. So in terms of like a massive tour, personally, I would absolutely love to see the Wonder Years playing with Trash Boat again, obviously, Boston Manor, and last band on that, I'd probably go with, you know what, I'm going to put Chunk in there somewhere as well. So I've been listening to a lot of Chunk lately as well, and they are amazing. In terms of like local bands, like friends of ours, like we'd love to tour with, say, Lion Estates, who are some of our best friends in the scene. We've already gone on tour with them before. Our first ever tour had them on. Safeguard as well are really cool. They've been friends of ours since we started out. They're actually playing with Homebound soon.
Sick.
So if you're in Leeds, go check out Safeguard play with Homebound because that'll be so good. Also, I need to think about this. I'd say New Again are really cool as well. They're from London. They're from where I grew up. Their style is like very much influenced by kind of like emo and a lot of like kind of the pop rock that's coming out nowadays as well. And let me think. If there was one more band, I'd probably say Fast Fade as well, who are also amazing. They're very much like 90s influenced skate punk. They're from Brighton on the south coast, and their live shows are just crazy. Like, I've not seen a band with as much like energy and just kind of like slapstick on stage than Fast Fade, you know, and that's including both really famous bands and really local bands. Like, I just massive amounts of fun, you know.
Awesome. Well, I like that you include the local bands because that's what I'm about here at Audio Addiction. So I'll have to go check them out, and maybe, you know, if you guys are watching this, if you want to come on, feel free to. But that would be awesome. But my next question is, favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Okay. Favorite TV show? I'm gonna go with something from my childhood, The Inbetweeners. So a British TV show, kind of like a sitcom.
Okay.
It's just, as a show, it's just so genuine. Like, I could, besides the fact that it's a TV show, I could barely, like, it's the experiences that they say on that show are so kind of similar to what I had growing up. Like, whereas like a lot of like high school sitcoms that I've watched have been very like kind of cookie cutter, like romanticizing it. The In-Between is just like, yeah, this was a bit tragic, wasn't it? Your entire existence was tragic, and I absolutely love that about it. Like, okay, favorite movie. This is going to be a hard one. I'm just kind of thinking this through again. Reservoir Dogs, putting it out there. Either that or Inglourious Bastards. Actually, no, I'm going to change that to Inglourious Bastards. I've always been a big Tarantino fan, but I think that first scene of Inglourious Bastards, where like just the tenseness of when he's like looking for the people in the basement, and it's like just everything about his character kind of exudes this sense of dread, you know, and that kind of suspense is something that like I've never seen encapsulated in a movie like I've seen it in Inglourious Bastards. And yeah, also Tarantino is a sick director as well. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah, awesome. I love the choices. I think they're solid. I have to check out the In-Betweeners because I feel like I do enjoy like British humor, so I'll have to.
it's
Go give
very
it a
much British humor. Like, it might be hard for you to get certain things, but also it's just such a great show as well.
Awesome, awesome. My next question is, if there's one album that you could bring with you for the next month to a desert island, what would it be?
Okay, this is a hard one. This is a really hard one. I'm gonna go with The Greatest Generation by the Wonder Years, I think.
Solid choice.
All the way through, like, it cycles through such a big kind of series of emotions, and not really different styles, but different dynamics, and the musicality as well is amazing. Like, a lot of pop punk records don't, like, a lot of them are really straightforward, whereas that one, if you actually give it a listen, there's loads of different drum parts, loads of different guitar parts. You can just kind of hear the kind of work that went into it. And also the structuring on this album is just like unlike anything I've ever seen. Like, the way they kind of bring back kind of like almost like a montage of all the songs on the album at the very end on the last track is something that I've never seen in an album before either. Like, I don't know if this is right, but I think the Wonder Years are one of the first bands to actually do something like that. And, well, if they aren't, they're probably the best band to have done it as well. So, I mean,
Awesome. The funny thing is that I've seen them before, I've seen them play, but I never really like delved into them. And the most recent record, Sister Sizzy's, I was like, let me give it a listen because I know a lot of people love that band, and obviously they're very close to where I live, so I was like, I gotta give it a listen. So I gave Sister Sizzy's a listen, and I'm like, this is so good, it's phenomenal. And then everybody's like, check out The Greatest Generation. That's like their best record.
Their best album.
So I checked that out, and I'm like stoked and like hooked on that record. So I definitely want to see the Wonder Years. I'll have to hopefully get to see them before the year's out.
Exactly.
But lastly, Ziggy, the most important thing, tell them about your band High Visions, where they can find you at, and anything coming up in the next couple months.
Okay, well, we have an EP coming out on Friday, so in 2 days' time, which is really exciting. At the moment, you can hear it being premiered on New Noise magazine, which is amazing as well. And following the release of that EP, we're going to be playing a show on the 5th of September at the Lending Room in Leeds, supporting our really good friends in the night in November who accompanied us on our first ever tour in the north of England, which was amazing. On top of that, we're organising a series of tours over the next 3 months, which is going to culminate in a massive tour in December. So we can't really announce anything 100% yet, but if you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we'll be posting everything that you guys need to know on there. You can find our music on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp. And if you do want to kind of learn a little bit more about our lyrics and where they come from, we are setting up a Genius profile. I've not seen anyone else in the pop punk scene do that. So we are really excited to get that set up and kind of show you the story behind like everything that we've been doing, you know.
Awesome, awesome. Well, firstly, I want to thank Megan. She sent me an email about you guys, and I have your new record too, so I have to. We'll be doing a review of it very soon, but definitely go check out High Visions. All the links are in the description. Go find out about their band. If you live in the UK, go see them. I unfortunately don't, so I will have to wait till you come to the US eventually. But
it'll happen. We'll make it happen.
Awesome. Well, go check them out, please. Go follow them on Spotify because I know that's the big thing. So if you want to know about when they released a new EP, you'll know right away. And if you enjoyed this interview, share it, like it, subscribe. It goes a long way. And thank you, Ziggy and High Visions, for coming on, man.
Thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.